Coast Athletic League spanning the past 3 years. This week's Classic Contest is brought to you by Straw Hat Pizza on 41st Avenue. Hello and welcome to another edition of our Summer Sports Classics. I'm Rusty Reed.
And I'm his sometime color man, Jeff Conley.
And together we're here to introduce tonight's classic game, a matchup just from this past basketball season between the Soquel Knights and the Aptos Mariners. And Jeff, an amazing offensive output.
Big offensive show. Very, very entertaining game. The kind of game the fans in town, I think, would like to see a great many more of. The coaches don't want to see that many more of them, but they may change their attitude in the future because Loyola Marymount played pretty much the style that these guys here played in this game, and they were very successful employing that this year.
Made national headlines, and it seems the offensive strategy of them, and maybe what we could be seeing is run and gun and let's hit the century mark.
It would be interesting to see if that's emulated at the local high school level. The defensive point in this case is to go get the ball and bring it back down the end and shoot it as quickly as you can. If they get two, let them have it, go down and get three of your own.
Now, the first time these two teams played was at the Soquel gym, and Soquel won the game. Tonight's game is the second league matchup, and it was at the Aptos High School gym.
Well, we're using the Soquel gym for the setting for this introduction because at the halftime we're going to bring back the man who haunted this gym with so many of those long shots over the years, Tomas Thompson.
All right, so without any further ado, let's join ourselves.
Now, let's go down to courtside with tonight's announcers, Rusty Reed and Jeff Conley.
Welcome to the Aptos High School Gymnasium, where the Aptos Mariners take on the Soquel Knights. Hello, everybody. I'm Rusty Reed, along with my color man, Jeff Conley, here tonight. A big game tonight to close out KRUZ regular season's game of the week. Jeff, like I said, a big game. We've got the top two offensive teams and offensive players in the league. What do you think of tonight?
Offense galore. We're going to have people all over the place. Kids running, helter-skelter. We got so many offensive players in the game, so many individual kids to watch. Both of these coaches have their teams set up for these kind of kids to go out and do their thing. That's what we're looking at, good fun. When sports were first initiated into school programs, they were set up to round out the students' education, to take care of that physical side of it. They also entertainment for the student body, for the alumni, something to take the kids' minds off the school studies. Something to let the pressure out. Well, we're going to have entertainment here tonight. Entertainment, entertainment, and entertainment.
That's right. The last time these two teams met, you called it the shootout, the big shootout. It was at the Soquel gym, Aptos and Soquel. Soquel became victorious. Is this the son of shootout?
Son of shootout part two. There might be triplets here tonight. At least we're going to have twins because we got Tomas Thompson in the game. We got Craig Holt. These guys really know how to put it up.
So all offense. Does defense even, is it a factor in a game like this?
Defense kind of wants to make you laugh. I mean, why should anybody in this game bother about defense? We saw, 2 weeks ago, Billy Mellis came in here. He was in Craig Holt's shirt. We gave the guy the most valuable player of the game. He was doing a terrific job defensively. You look in the book, Craig Holt had 36 points. Last time these two teams played over at the Soquel gym, you had Tim Norman all over Craig Holt. You look in the book, the guy had 26 points. Nobody can stop Tomas Thompson anyway. He moves too well without the ball. Defense. The way the defense might take place, under the basket. You got the wide bodies from Soquel. Tyler Stinton. You got Ken House. Your fan club here is driving me nuts. I'm trying to concentrate on you guys, but Rusty's fans are going crazy. So, that's what we got. Defense, it'll be the rebounding. That's where it'll take place. Offensive rebounding, who's going to stop who? The wide bodies against the long bodies of John King, Chris Warmerdam. That's where the game might be decided, but it's going to be fun.
So there you have it. We'll be back. Aptos and Soquel with the tip-off after this.
Each year, Youth for Understanding places 4,000 international students with families in America.
As a host parent, I think that that person needs to have an open heart, right? Needs to be willing to share a part of their life with someone else. Yeah. It doesn't take a lot. It really doesn't.
I feel very comfortable with my family. I like a lot to be with them, but they also like to be with me.
I want to be able to show Claudia that we are a good nation, a good people. We are trying so hard to say, hey, this is what America is all about, and we're really proud
Open your heart and your home to an exchange student this year. Call your local Youth for Understanding office at 800-USA-0200. Help bring the world together.
But Jeff Conley, big foul. Jonathan King there with the shot. Banged upside the head by Tomas Thompson, number 24. So Aptos now with a 5-2 lead with 7:19 to go in the first quarter.
Good catch up, Rusty. A little late coming on here. You haven't missed much, folks. One three-pointer by Craig Holt. He drew a personal foul right after that. Then King right back in their face with a two-pointer. And there's one foul against Tomas Thompson.
And Jonathan King makes good with the three-point play. 6-2, Aptos. Casey Shermer bringing the ball down. John Dominguez.
Going to be perimeter pressure all night long, it looks like. Rusty, until they get tired, they're going to have to do that. There's an easy foul there.
So John Dominguez comes in. Opens things up with a nice long three-pointer there. Mark Tuitt taking it out, passing it off to Knutson, over to Holt. Just off with the two-point attempt. And traveling called on Dominguez.
So things a little like your name, Rusty, here in the first quarter.
Dominguez, a junior guard, didn't play much in the last game we saw with Soquel.
He's a bomber, though, just like his sister. They like the long range.
Well, Craig Holt trying to drive in there. Caught the fouls. We see the call. Justin Ray gets tagged with that one.
Justin Ray's one of those wide bodies I forgot to mention at the top of the show, I think, Rusty. It'll be his job in there to keep the long bodies off the boards. He and Tyler Stenton with some help from their good pal, Kenny House.
So Holt missing, unable to extend that one-point lead that they hold right now. But there. 7-5, 6:46 left to go in the first period. Again, it's Sean St. Clair bringing the ball down over to Dominguez, back to St. Clair.
Looks like they got a box and one, Rusty. They got Craig Holt in Tomas Thompson's space while the other guys just kind of play a back zone.
Cliff Knutson there with the foul. Cliff, of course, the younger brother of the Knutson twins that just left Aptos.
The camera angles are right. We might want to check that Holt against Tomas Thompson defense because those guys are going at it while the other guys kind of play a little more loosely.
Tomas with the three-pointer. Well, we can expect a lot of that from the league's leading scorer. Craig Holt wants the same thing. He answers right back with a three-pointer of his own. Craig Holt.
Taking turns. What are you going to do? Unstoppable.
Number 1 and number 2 in the scoring county list. Ty Stenton underneath there, tipped away by Knutson. He stepped out of bounds, just barely. Nice attempt there by Cliff. So you've got Craig Holt, who's the number 2 scorer in the entire league with 23.3, and Tomas Thompson at 23.6 at number 1.
They've expanded it. Last time we saw him, it was 0.04 of a point difference. Now it's 0.3.
Dominguez, three-point attempt, doesn't get it, gets his own rebound in. 2 points, John Dominguez. That ties it up 10-10 with just under 6 minutes to go in the first period. Mark Tuitt, the sophomore. Nice shot. Nice dribble drive, about a 10-footer there by Mark Tuitt.
I like the way his game's coming on this year, Rusty. He's going
really
for all
matured
aspects.
a lot. But flying into Dominguez there. Dominguez is really firing from the outside.
That's Tuitt's first foul. Todd Belisco on the call.
So Dominguez will bring it in. Tuitt tight on him. Over to St. Clair.
They're into the trap a little bit here. They're really a pressure defense tonight.
Dominguez.
Great arc in the shot. Has to be when you're trying to get it up and over the eraser.
Craig Holt with a three-point attempt just off the front of the rim. Ray with the rebound. Gets it off to St. Clair. He wants to keep it himself. Nice dish, Justin Ray off the glass. Very nice, Sean St. Clair to Justin Ray. So, Soquel takes the lead, 14-12 with 5 minutes to go in the quarter. Steele, Dominguez with another hoop. Got caught looking at the scoreboard there.
8 points for Dominguez already.
Knudsen takes it all the way, dishes off to King, off his hands to it. He'll save it. Not much for the knees though, but the ball's still in bounds and in play. Finds King alone in the middle. Thompson, tough defense. Justin Ray with the rebound, off to St. Clair. Here they come, 3-on-3. Dominguez, it's good. Dominguez cannot be stopped. Forget about Tomas Thompson. Forget about Justin Ray. Dominguez is the man. Here comes Mark to it. Over to King, turnaround jumper.
There's your offensive rebound, Rusty. Big basket, offensive rebound.
Craig Holt averages just under 6 a game, so for the outside game, he gets a share of rebounds. Ty Stenton underneath, Warmer on him, back out to St. Clair. Chris Warmerdam trying for that rebound, knocked into Ty Stenton.
Well, I think they called it on Stenton. They're going to give it to Aptos.
Warmer, I guess, with the position. So Cliff Knudsen will bring it in. Ty Stenton sits down for Kenny House, one of those wide bodies Jeff Conley was talking about in the pregame intro here. Here comes Mark to it. Good pressure, but the foul on John Dominguez. Soquel up by 4 here, 18-14. It's been a wild start.
Well, they're in the bonus now. 5 fouls against the Knights. They've spread them around. I've got 3 of them down here. Trying to score 4 of them down here. Trying to score this thing with a cross pen and a white piece of paper. I don't have one of those Wang double yuppie computers that I made $3 million on selling here. Got to go with intelligence and the old ballpoint pen.
Mark to it, makes good on the free throw. Well, you got to be able to go into one of these classrooms here at Aptos and take your pick.
It's true. We need a backup not only in the truck with Jeffrey Charon and those guys. It'd be nice to have some kid up in the computer room.
Mark to it on the line, trying to hit his second shot. No good, off the hands of Kenny House last. So, Aptos will retain the ball. Down by 3, 18-15. Soquel in the lead, Mark to it. Throws it into Holt. Holt, Ray covering. St. Clair comes in to help him. Off into its hands, St. Clair takes it, but traveling. That's John Dominguez. That's his second traveling call in this first period.
Both teams using the trap liberally here in the first quarter, Rusty, and it's working. There's been a bunch of turnovers both ways with that.
To it to Holt. Ray. Holt into King. He wants the turnaround jumper. Whoa, you see the scramble.
Oh, the referees are kind of letting it go, Rusty. There was a lot of slapping and hacking in there, but that's the big time.
Thompson, 3-point attempt. To it, falling all over him, but he made good. No harm, no foul. I guess there was no harm. He made the hoop. So Thompson with another 3-pointer. Here comes to it. The turnaround jumper. Great court sense there. You barely know where that hoop was. And Dominguez with a 3-pointer attempt of his own. Not good. To it with the rebound. He'll bring it up himself. To it, one of those who can play guard and forward. Here comes Holt, the 3-pointer.
Tomas Thompson doing a good job under there, slapping that ball and slapping at the ball. He could have been called for a couple of fouls, but they're really letting him play, and I'm glad to see that. I mean, these shots, these fouls, the non-calls, aren't affecting the game.
But a foul away from the ball. Kenny House.
House in disbelief.
Oh, and they call a technical on Kenny House.
So he digs a deeper hole for himself.
Just when Soquel started to pull away with a 21-17 lead. Kenny House called with the foul away from the ball. A little bit upset. Tomas Thompson trying to get the full story there. It'll be Craig Holt who comes to the line.
Well, I didn't see the foul, Rusty. It was well off the ball. I don't know what was going on down there, but
Craig Holt gets the lucky bounces there.
There were 4 offensive rebounds under the Aptos basket the last sequence down there when Holt and Tomas were going at it.
So Holt hits them both to bring his team back to within 2, 21-19. And now the foul was on Mark Tuitt, so he'll take his turn at the line. We're in the bonus, so 2 shots here will tie this game up at 21. This is the first, however. 2:50 left to go in this wild first period. Kenny House will take a seat. Says, Coach, it wasn't my fault. Mark Tuitt makes good on the second of 2.
So we got a possible 5 or 6 point play opportunity here.
Fans enjoy that one, and Aptos will take out the ball because of the technical foul. Cliff Knutson throwing off to Mark Tuitt.
Let's see what results. They got 3 from the foul line.
Sees King inside. He wanted that turnaround jumper. Gave it off to Knutson. Too high off the glass. Gets his own rebound. This is a rough game. There've been a lot of kids hitting the ground here.
Well, they're calling the fouls away from the backboard, Rusty. They're not going to allow any rough stuff along the perimeter.
That's Casey Shermer, I believe, on his back there. Cliff Knutson up to the line.
Last of the Viking brothers, I think, here for a while. Had a lot of fun with the Knutsons over the years in this Aptos basketball gym.
Indeed. Warmerdam, nice effort. Turnaround jumper, no good. Knutson almost gets the rebound, but Holt can't save it. Shermer up with the ball and gives it off to St. Clair. St. Clair to Dominguez. Knocked out of bounds by Mark Tuitt. Soquel keeps the ball. Soquel holding on to a 1-point lead with 2:22 to go, 21-20. St. Clair up top. He looks through the defense. Over to Dominguez. Back to St. Clair. Turnover. King comes up with it over to Tuitt.
Once again, the trap pays off.
Warmerdam, a spin move there. A long 15-foot jump shot, no good. Tomas Thompson with the rebound. So Soquel still 1-point lead. Here comes St. Clair. Knutson, good defense. Closes it down. Ray.
Well, Justin Ray, a grand idea there. Grand conception, poor execution. Dominguez just was not ready for that pass.
Here comes Cliff Knutson. He wants it all. No, he dishes off to a Warmerdam standing all by himself. Good for 2.
Looked like he got away with a little foxtrot under there, a couple little steps, but it went in the bucket. Nobody blew the whistle.
And that gives Aptos the lead, 21-22, with a minute and a half to go in the first period. John Dominguez up top. He'll take it. 3-point attempt. It's good.
Oh, that's 11 points for John Dominguez. I think he's taken about 6 shots. He has 11 points.
Jonathan King into Warmerdam. Didn't get the roll, got his own rebound, however. Was able to get it by despite the Thompson swat, I should say. So Chris Warmerdam makes good with 2. So now we've got a 24-24 game. Tomas, 3-point attempt. Off the rim, Tuitt with the rebound.
Neither team giving anybody any space here tonight. That's going to cost a foul, and that might be, well, we'll wait and see.
No, they'll let that go. Casey Shermer playing pretty tenaciously on Mark Tuitt there. Tuitt threw out a little bit of a forearm. They called it on Casey, and Tuitt threw the ball right back at Casey. Shermer didn't like it much. Shermer, a junior, Tuitt, a sophomore. They've got Casey listed at 6 foot. I find that hard to believe. Tuitt unable to can the free throw. Tomas Thompson with the rebound.
Well, these days they measure everybody with really thick shoes plus very thick socks.
That's right. Well, actually, he looks taller than 6 foot. I think it should be the other way around. Another 3-point attempt by Dominguez. No good. King fighting for the rebound. They'll call it jump ball.
It's always amazing how much bigger they look when you go down and stand next to them. And once you get out of the stands.
They look all even across.
Really, you look like you think they're regular people when you're sitting in the stands, but no, those are big guys out there.
Tomas Thompson with the shot there, 6'4", he makes good.
In anybody's league, that's a 3. He has 3 of them.
Knutson into King. He rolls it down the gutter, and with 18 seconds to go in the first quarter, it is Soquel up by 1, 27-26. Dominguez with the ball. Knutson trying to keep on the 3-point shooter off to St. Clair. St. Clair will take it off the back of the rim. King knocks it over to Warmerdam. Here comes to it. He's got Holt on the side, the three-pointer at the buzzer, no good. And so at the end of a very exciting first quarter, it's Soquel ahead at the Aptos gym, 27-26.
Gee, honey, what are these pictures?
Well, I just happened to have my new camera with me when I went to lunch today. And the salad bar was so good that for fun I took a few shots.
Sometimes you're so crazy.
Yeah, I know, but it was so good. And over 40 items to choose from.
Wow, it does look good. Where did you eat? Hey, that's not part of the salad bar.
Nope, that's a picture of a great pizza.
You went to Straw Hat, didn't you?
Yep, Straw Hat Pizza on 41st Avenue, and it was good.
Time was you sat down to a meal. Folks greeted you by name.
John, Sarah, here's your lunch.
And brought you food that was good and wholesome. You can still get a meal like that at Eric's Deli Cafe, prepared to order and delivered to your table in the time it takes to drive through other fast food restaurants. And whether served inside, out on the porch, or, if you're on the run, prepared to go. At Eric's Deli Cafe, you'll always find old-fashioned quality that's fast, fresh, and delicious.
We are back for the beginning of the second quarter. Soquel up 27-26 over the Aptos Mariners. A good first quarter there, Jeff.
Yeah, oddly enough, it looked to me like Aptos totally out-rebounded Soquel on the offensive board, which I thought at the top of the show would be really important. I have it 7-1. Aptos out-rebounded Soquel, and here we have Soquel leading the game by a point. But I suppose one of the reasons for all those rebounds was Aptos kept missing their shots.
That's right. Not many missed shots between Dominguez and Tomas Thompson for Soquel. So here we go. Knutson into Warmerdam. Cannot make good, but King with the offensive rebound and hoop.
See, you got to think if they keep doing that, that's an easy bucket. These other guys have got to toss it in from 20 feet. They keep doing that stuff. It's easier to get those rebounds, put that ball back up. Soquel's got to make their shots good because they're just not out-rebounding these guys tonight. The long bodies are way ahead.
Casey Shermer trying to get it inside. Good tenacious defense. Dominguez, three-pointer, no good. He'll get his own rebound. Dish off underneath, but Knutson comes up with it. Here comes Holt.
One shot is all they get down the other end, and they turn it the other way quickly.
So Aptos with a three-point lead, 30-27. Dominguez to Thompson. Thompson will take the three-pointer.
Thompson's just a little bit off early. He's traveling underneath Stenton. Thompson's just a little bit off early, but as you remember, he was off in that first half the last time for a while, and then all of a sudden, when he goes on the streak, look out.
That third quarter, he was scalding hot.
The percentages are there for the three-point shot. Anybody with a calculator can figure that out.
Dominguez comes up with the loose ball. Here comes Justin Ray. He's got an opening. Oh! Cliff Knutson trying everything he could to keep him from coming to the ball. Justin Ray will explain maybe what to do better or what not to do.
Well, everybody's got their energy at high levels here in this first half. Everybody's a little bit on edge. Everybody's amped up. These are only 17, 16-year-old guys. Warmerdam's going to call timeout here, maybe to just calm down Knutson a little bit. He seemed a little irritated with that collision with Justin Ray. But you notice when it comes to the end of the game, guys are a little bit more respectful of each other after they banged around all during the game.
Yeah, I think so. They see pick up a little camaraderie there maybe along the way.
Well, let's get into that huddle with Bill Warmerdam. There are those who think that this might be his last year here. I find that pretty hard to believe, but he does have a son in there. Final year he'll be working with his son. Well, even our finely tuned audio crew having a little bit of a hard time sorting out the voice of Bill Warmerdam from the mayhem that takes place here every time there's a game in the Aptos gym.
I thought I heard him say, let's keep it outside, which might just show how well I can't hear. So Justin Ray at the line, 27-30, Soquel behind. And he can't cut down that deficit. The last foul again on Cliff Knudsen. 6:58 to go in the second quarter. Ray misses both. King with the rebound. Justin Ray, that foul there. It's a good effort, though. He coming back in the rebound of his own shot.
Now you can feel the fever pitch building up in here. The stands are rocking already. This is usually a third quarter phenomenon, late in the third quarter, early fourth quarter, but we're barely into the second quarter here with 6:56 left and a half, and the stands are already starting to rock, Rusty.
I think so. These players are out here rocking and bopping against each other. Tim Norman just checks in for John Dominguez.
Well, Dominguez really made the coach look good, didn't he? Made Spencer a genius there, popping in for a quick 13 points.
I'd like to find out where Dominguez was the last game. If he was sick or...
I believe he was. I had him crossed off, did not play.
Sean St. Clair looked like he wanted to take the three-pointer, pass off the mark a little bit. Tomas Thompson recovers. Back over to St. Clair, looks to Senton, but goes to Norman, three-pointer. No, into Ray. Nice pump fake. Still, the Warmerdam, the human eraser.
What a job Chris did that time. He didn't go for the first fake. He didn't go for the second fake. He bought the third fake, but then he came back anyway and swatted it away.
Shades of his sophomore year. Tomas Thompson into Ray. The hook over the rim.
That's what happens when you got Warmerdam on your mind. You change that shot.
Behind the back pass by Tuitt to Warmerdam. Warmerdam to King, back to Tuitt. He'll hit it on a 12-footer. Very nice job passing around by Aptos.
8 points unofficially for Tuitt, averaging 12.
Shermer, three-pointer. I should say that's St. Clair. They're really fighting underneath. Whoa! Warmerdam and Tomas Thompson.
Well, they got to settle things down now. These guys are just a little bit angry with each other for some reason. Warmerdam and Tomas Thompson really got tangled up. And that's really not like Chris Warmerdam to get that involved in it.
Or Thompson, for that matter. I was watching on the earlier rebounds that were bouncing around. Their elbows were flinging all over the place.
Everybody really, really wants that ball. That will happen. Defense will almost take care of itself sometimes in a game like this with so many great offensive players. They want that ball so bad, they'll do anything to get it. They're giving up a rebound here and there, but even when you bring it down, you're not safe. Chris Warmerdam brought down a rebound. Soquel was all over it. Denton ripped it away, then back at it again. They're cool now. They're cool.
So. I think so. And out of all that, Tomas Thompson's the one who comes out getting charged with the foul.
That's 2 on him. Now he and Todd Belisco having a chat here right in front of the KRUZ booth.
Well, if it's Tomas with the foul, he's taking the ball in. Hold covering him, but, well, here we go. Back to action. Sean St. Clair over to Norman. He finds House inside. Snuck a little pass in there. Kenny House with the hoop. 29 points for Soquel, 32 for Aptos.
Yeah, good idea, but King couldn't handle that down low pass down on the block.
A lot of mustard on that pass.
Now, Craig Holt is really all over Tomas Thompson. Now, Stenton set a pick against Holt that time, and Stenton got caught. They're going to go down the other end, and Holt will shoot, because Stenton really tried to pick off Holt, who just won't give Tomas Thompson breathing room, never mind shooting room.
Both these teams very intense. Aptos up 32-29 with 5:36 left to go in the first half. A lot of points here in this game.
Well, both teams finished that first quarter above the 100-point game pace.
Craig Holt increases that to a 4-point lead, making good with his first shot there.
They've cooled down a little bit, not much.
And Holt 34-29 Aptos. Here comes St. Clair over to Norman. Into Stenton. Warmerdam.
That's all ball. They'll call it the jump. The possession will go to Aptos. That was all ball. A terrific block by Warmer.
That's all Warmer needs to do to get back at his team, at his opponents. He doesn't need to fling elbows. Block shots.
Well, he's got a bunch. He's got 2 or 3 already. The question will be, can Warmerdam and Jonathan King keep up the pressure against their heavier opponents here?
Looks like Craig Holt's a little frustrated. He got the foul. Timmy Norman fouled him and they called it, but still Holt just didn't like the way that they played him on that.
Well, this is a big game for Aptos. They got swept by Santa Cruz this year. They're in danger of the sweep by Soquel, who beat them in the first game over at the Soquel gym. They're very, very serious. They'd like to tune things up for those playoffs.
So Holt hits both. Aptos up 36-29. Aptos stretching that lead.
Soquel has bigger fish to fry this year. They must play in Division II because of the size of their school.
Dominguez back in, comes up with the ball, off to House, and back to Norman.
So this will be the final meeting of the two clubs this year.
John Dominguez, three-pointer.
He's going to leave his imprint on it, isn't he? 16 points for Dominguez.
Here comes Jonathan King up. Nice shot. Didn't take him long to answer back.
Well, they're trading threes for twos, though.
All Aptos 6-point lead, 38-32. Norman trying to cut inside. It's Dominguez. He wants it. But Knutson, he'll get the foul. Knutson almost left his feet there and fell on Dominguez.
Well, he tried to cut the pass and caught Dominguez with the body now. Dominguez, who has 5 twos, 2 threes, will try to get himself a couple of ones.
Dominguez hits it. 38-33 Aptos. It's interesting. You expect them to pass it around the perimeter there. You think you've got a little bit of time to take a breather, and they're shooting away and making it.
Dominguez perfect from everywhere tonight, just about. I think he's only missed one shot.
So Aptos up by 4, 38-34. Tuitt bringing it up, finds Holt. Holt being covered by Norman, takes the shot. Off the back of the rim. Kenny House comes up with it off to Norman. He goes over to Dominguez off the glass.
Well, he missed one. And King volleyballed it out of bounds.
I think so. And that's the way they'll call it. Tomas Thompson taking the ball out, number 24. Out to Dominguez. Knutson fights his way free of the screen. Norman. Boy, Jonathan King really got up there for that. That's a two-point attempt by Holt. Sweet as can be.
Terrific, isn't it? The defense hustles back to stop the layup. The guy just throws it in from 19, which is like a layup for him, and this guy throws it in from 20, and that's like a layup for him, and he gets 3.
So back and forth we go. Aptos up 40-37. Knutson back out to Tuitt. Three-pointer, top of the key. It's good. These guys are hot. 43-37 Aptos. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Tim Norman off the front of the rim. King with the rebound. Finds Holt. It's Holt against Thompson. He goes right by Thompson. In for the score. That's a two-pointer. So Aptos with 3:18 to go in the half. Up 45-37, an 8-point lead. Oh, Kenny House. Some frustration down underneath there. Warmerdam again.
Yeah, Warmerdam snuffed another shot, then he took a body blow. And I think they're calling this an intentional foul.
I think so. House.
I saw the crossed wrist. Players are filling in the lane. Now they're going to wave him out. Chase waves him on out of there. Is that Whalen? My goodness. Correct that. I've checked that out. I think that's Joe Whalen. Yep. Joe Whalen and Todd Velisco refereeing the game. So now Warmerdam will get the 1-and-1, or the 2 shots plus the ball. It's devastating, that intentional foul stuff. You like that rule?
That's tough. It's where it's devastating is at the end of the game. You know, it's too big of a turnaround. You could have a 3-point play. You could have a 5-point turnaround just like that.
But you got to go for the ball, though. Something was going on under there after the snuff shot. Somebody threw a body.
You got to settle him down. The call on House was good. He sits down now. He needs to settle down a bit. So Warmerdam
can't cash him.
A lot of block shots, though. Warburton's really starting to come into his own now. It's a good time. Playoffs coming up. Whoa.
The trap. The
Justin
trap.
Ray.
Clean pick.
Saves
if
it.
he can get rid of it before he walks, can't do it.
Warburton straight up. Nice roll.
That was a pretty shot, wasn't it?
Very pretty shot.
Turn around over your shoulder. I like that one.
Dominguez, three-pointer. No good. Tomas tried for the rebound, fouled by Mark Tuitt there. So Aptos with a 10-point lead here with 2:44 left to go in the second period. It's 47-37, a lot of points here.
So 2 fouls on Mark Tuitt. Nobody else on Aptos team in any kind of foul trouble. The foul's starting to pile up on Soquel just a little bit. Kenny House with a couple plus a technical. He's in trouble.
See a lot more of Ty Stenton then. So Thompson cuts it down to an 8-point lead. Aptos.
Well, that was a bit of luck there for Chris. He looked like he lost control of the ball, and it totally baffled Tomas Thompson, and Warmer went right up over him.
Out on Mark Tuitt, flung it out of bounds. It's interesting, I watched Tomas on that. Instead of going into the basket, he took 3 steps out, turned around and shot it from outside of the three-point line.
He knows where the extra points come from.
So Ray finds Thompson. He cannot find the hoop. Warmerdam with the rebound, off to King. Holt off the glass, nice shot. 51-39 Aptos, 2:10 to go in the first half. St. Clair to Dominguez. Dominguez with the three-pointer. Dominguez is cooled down.
One shot only. They were getting a little bit closer to getting some offensive rebounds for a while tonight, but now Aptos has just shut them down again. They're getting one shot, and that's it.
Holt finds King cutting across the middle. Look at the bounces.
Well, right now the Mariners don't need 2 shots. They're doing it on 1 each time down.
53-39. Here comes Sean St. Clair. He goes into Ray.
Nice pass underneath. Everybody cleared out there. Easy chance.
Shermer took just long enough to shoot that. 53-41 Aptos. Mark Tuitt with the ball. Sean St. Clair on him. Here comes Holt. Justin Ray covering. Sean St. Clair will be charged with that.
Good ball for St. Clair. Double teamed. Holt goes up from 20 feet. I mean,
Didn't even
these
think
guys are confident. They are really confident.
2 guys on him. Went straight
Sometimes
up.
when you're being guarded so close, you can't get a pass off anyway. You might as well shoot it and hope for the best.
So Holt misses the first end of the 1-and-1.
You can suck 2 blue shirts 20 feet from the basket. You got 4 on 3 underneath if you pop it up.
Dominguez with a little bit of a wild shot there. Tuitt, nice effort, but it's Dominguez again.
Shots are flying.
Shermer.
Oh,
King
they
with
got
the
some
rebound.
offensive boards then, but can't cash.
The little guys were getting the offensive boards too.
Well, the big guys are pushing each other all over the place. They're spending a lot of time across the baseline. Look at Warmerdam. Look at Warmerdam's move.
So Aptos getting fired up here in the second quarter. They now have a 14-point lead, 55-41. Under a minute to go, 45 seconds in this first half. The fans enjoying this one. Half the fans anyway. We'll hear from some of those fans.
What were you guys doing out there?
Man on the street.
Fan appreciation night?
We'll see how these fans like coming to these kind of games, how many they've been to, what they like about it, that sort of thing.
I noticed you had your usual gathering around you there over at the side door.
Sean St. Clair drives the middle. Dishes to Shermer, but traveled.
Velisco says, you walked. He says, no, a break. No break. You walked.
A break. We're 15 points down. 30 seconds to go. Here comes Mark Tuitt. Think they'll sit on it or put it right up? Well, I wonder.
There's your answer.
Oh, Jonathan King with the rebound. Goes back up. Doesn't.
2 shots, almost a third shot. Now a third shot. You just can't win if they're going to do that to you. There's just no chance.
So 10 seconds to go. Here comes St. Clair. 9 seconds.
Oh,
he
hook ball by Tuitt. He'd like to have that back, I think.
No basket. A foul before the shot.
Yeah, Tuitt hooked him on the way to the basket with his left hand. He'd really like to have that back. The last thing you want to do is pick up another foul when the first half is just about over. And for Tuitt, that's his 3rd personal, and that's always a big one. Now you got to start thinking when you play defense. You got to start being a little bit more attentive.
St. Clair hits it. 42 points for Soquel, 58 for Aptos. A 16-point lead with 8 seconds to go in the half.
Some college teams, you get 2 fouls in the first half, you sit down, period. They just don't want you out there. You got a foul to play defense, sit down. They won't let you play.
6 seconds, 5, 4, Tuitt with the ball. St. Clair on him. At the buzzer, no good. The tip by Warmer won't count. So at the half, it's the Aptos Mariners in their home gym up 58-43 over the Soquel Knights. We'll be back. Boy, an amazing first half, 58-43, a high school game, only 8-minute quarters. Joining Jeff Conley and I is now Tomas Thompson. And Tomas, what in the world got into you guys?
I don't know, I think we just wanted to go out there and prove to Aptos that we could run with them, and we got going, and it was pretty close for the first half or so. Then we got in foul trouble, and offensive boards really killed us.
You really think, Jeff Conley made the point a minute ago, that you guys could play with Aptos in that style of basketball?
Yeah, I really think we could run with them like we were doing, but when you get, we're not really tall to begin with anyway, and you get your taller players in foul trouble, it makes it really difficult because they have, off the bench, they got people coming off, and it's really difficult.
Congratulations on being chosen Player of the Year. I haven't seen you since then, and all those awards started to accumulate. Do you put your arm in a sling after a game like that and ice it down? Seriously, take that many shots?
I took a little more shots than I'm used to, but I don't know. If I make a couple in a row and I feel like I'm confident, I'll just keep on taking them until I miss.
Now you and Craig Holt are good friends, right? But but the friendship kind of goes into bands during a game like that.
I
wanted to ask you this for a long time. What is the exact definition of this?
I don't know. That was just really a frustration for me. Craig was guarding me early in the game. They were playing a box and one, and he was one that was guarding me, and he kind of took the attitude like I wasn't going to score. And anytime anyone does that to me, I take it as a personal challenge, and I make sure that I score on them because they're trying to hold me back for something I like to do a lot.
Mm-hmm. So there's no kissing of cheeks like Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas between you guys, but you are friends.
Yeah, we're pretty good friends, before the game and stuff. But during the game, when you get going with the crowd and stuff, and the intensity of the game, you're just out for your school.
Is there any limit for your shooting range? I mean, there's the 3-point line, but it seems like the half-court line is about your only border.
It depends. In the first half, usually I have a lot better, range. My legs are a lot stronger in the first half. And I say anywhere from about 24, 25 feet, I feel comfortable in if I'm open. But if someone's guarding me, usually, about 21. It depends where I am.
If I can go back to that first quarter, how about John Dominguez? Was he always popping them during the season like that, or was he just a well-kept secret?
No, he just unreal. When he gets going, he can make those 3-pointers, better than anyone I've ever seen. And he would just, in the first half, he's what really kept us in there. In the first quarter, he was making everything he was shooting. He really did a good job the first half.
Did you guys decide before you went into the game that that's the kind of game that you wanted to play, period, or did it kind of just develop by accident, or what happened?
I think we got in that game, we really didn't know what to expect. We thought that we were just going to pass it around, and take the open shots like we did, not really run and gun that much. But once we got going, they were passing the ball once shooting, and we got in that same style flow.
And you guys were playing catch-up most of the
Yeah, we had to come back and shoot 3-pointers, and when you're down, those 3-pointers, hard to come by.
Mm-hmm. You think it's a style that'll catch on more around here? Or?
I think so. I think it's really exciting kind of, game. I don't really think that most people like to watch, a boring game, people passing the ball around and stuff, and I think they like to see a lot of shots go up.
So at the half, you're down by some 15 points, I think. What was the strategy to come out and try and beat these guys?
I think what we really need to do is start hitting the boards more. We weren't being very physical on the boards, and we need to come out, and hit a couple 3-pointers also and get back into the game and start playing a little bit better defense or playing some defense at all.
All right, well, let's take a look at that second half. Jeff, any other questions?
Well, I wanted to ask you one thing. You played 4 years here. You started out at Morello, and I've watched you all of those 4 years. I don't want to think that this is the end of the basketball line, so tell us quickly if you can, what's next?
Well, me and my dad are flying down in 2 weeks to Wyoming, and we're going to meet the coach and find out a little about their program. And right now I've applied there and I'm accepted, so if we like, you know, the situation there, that's where I'm going to be.
That'll make a lot of people happy. I hope that works out for you. You make a good cowboy, you know.
I hope so. I'm working hard for it, you know. I'm ready for it, I think.
All right, well, Tomas Thompson, Jeff Conley, and I will all be back for the end of the game. So for now, let's take a look at the second half of the offensive scoring game, the Gunner game. With the hoop there at 6:47 left to go in the third period. Some technical problems, much like the ones we had at the beginning of the game. We missed a Soquel came out. Timmy Norman with the shot there, misses, but hit his first attempt of the half. So Tomas Thompson with the hoop and the foul. Just recapping, Soquel came out. Timmy Norman got a two-pointer. Mark Tewitt answered him back with a basket of his own. Warmerdam had another block shot. And on a scramble, Jonathan King was fouled. He hit both his shots. Tomas Thompson hit a three-pointer and comes up with that two-pointer and the foul. So the score, 64 Aptos, 50 Soquel. 6:30 left to go in the third quarter.
So for Tomas Thompson, he had 14 points in that game, within a game in the first half, but he's got 6 here to open the second. He now is with 20. Holt had 23 in the first half. Doesn't have any here in the second half.
Ty Stenton with the steal and a very nice layup. 64-53 Aptos.
We'll look at some of the other scoring. Warmerdam with 11, King with 11, Mark Tewitt with 13. We had Dominguez, the big surprise for Soquel in the first half. He had 19 points.
Holt all the way. Looks like a foul on Ty Stenton there. He can ill afford another foul.
Four personal fouls for Stenton. That's going to hurt Soquel. They were depending on him to just keep the heat on those long guys throughout the game and try to wear them down a little bit. If he has to sit down, that's going to be a huge gap. They will bring in House, but he's not quite the basketball player that he is, the football player, and he's not the basketball player that Stenton is.
So Holt makes good with both his shots. 66-53 Aptos with 6:10 left in the third quarter. Norman looking for Thompson. Likes to go over to Shermer. He finds Stenton underneath. Nice layup. Nice pass, Casey Shermer.
Stenton had 2 in the first half. He's got, well, yeah, he was shut out in the first half. He's got 4 here in the second half. Now they catch Norman for the foul.
A little bit unnecessary there. Norman just got a hand in there. Didn't affect Holt at all.
Yeah, like we said, these guys really want that ball, and they'll do anything to get it.
Oh, Warmerdam.
Well, Tomas Thompson didn't think he fouled that time, but he chested in. If you're going to pretend or you're going to claim that you were just going verticality and standing straight up, you can't bend towards the other guy. He definitely was on the toes, leaning forward. Good call.
So an 11-point bulge for Aptos, 66-55. Timeout, Dave Spencer. He wants to talk it over. They're still intense. I don't know if they cooled off too much in the locker room there.
Well, they're both on the 100-point pace. Rusty with 5:48 left in the third quarter. Aptos with the big double 6, 66 points, 55 for the Knights. That's about an 11-point spread. You remember the last time that these two teams met, it was about a 12-point spread, 10-point spread, and that was the difference in scoring between Tomas Thompson and Craig Holt. Thompson outscored Holt by 10 last time. Can we get Spencer?
There's a look at Dave Spencer, the coach, and see what he's saying in there.
Well, I hear the cheering section. That's all I ever remember hearing at it. Whenever I leave this gym after doing one of these games, I just remember Aptos, Aptos, Aptos. I wonder where Warmerdam's been. The guy's sporting quite a tan, isn't he?
You're right, you're right. A little trip to the Bahamas, perhaps. I mean, they did have some time off practice, didn't they?
That's right. Story had it that Aptos didn't practice for a week here to try to just rest themselves a little bit. Try to get reinvigorated for the big playoff season. We'll be following local teams in the playoffs. We've got Aptos going Division 3, Harbor going Division 3, Santa Cruz may be the best bet for us, Division III. When's it going to drop, huh, Bill?
Well, at least they've got their tans in order for the playoffs.
Well, son Chris rather can't make it for Papa Bill on 2 tries.
John St. Clair over to Norman.
That's about the only trouble Warmerdam's had the last 15 minutes of this ball game. He's been perfect. Otherwise, the trap leads to a foul.
Cliff Knutson, I think the referees are not going to let this get out of hand here early.
Well, those are just routine, over-aggressive fouls. That's good defense carried just a little bit too far.
3-pointer. That almost hit the rafters.
Well, no one's ever denied that Tomas Thompson puts a lot of bark on that ball. And yet another foul. Is this Norman again?
Timmy Norman. So I believe it'll be Jonathan King going to the line. Still that 11-point lead by Aptos. Haven't seen much scoring in the last minute and a half of playing. 66-55 Aptos. Jonathan King with the attempt. He cans it.
Spence is going to go with Dominguez now, Rusty, after Norman's foul. We're going to see if Dominguez can pick up the pace he held in that first half with 19 big points.
So Jonathan King gives the Mariners a 13-point lead. 5:24 left in the third quarter.
He's going to try to keep track of rebounds tonight. I'm going to have to leave that to Greg Lathrop. That one goes out the door.
Greg Lathrop, the compiler of Santa Cruz County stats for the Santa Cruz Sentinel. That must be a job.
Now we lean heavily on his production. Also enjoy that column he writes every Tuesday.
Holt behind the back pass, goes up, no good. He'll get his own rebound. Off the glass a little hard. Warmerdam. 70-55 at the 5-minute mark.
So the offensive boards continue to kill SoCal. They just can't get the position underneath to keep Warmerdam and King away from the backboard.
There you go.
King will get that one from the back row.
Knutson to Tuitt. He'll go up. Tuitt cans it. Held up a finger for each point there.
That's 17 now for Mark Tuitt. There's a lot of guys getting fat here tonight.
Shermer wisely off to Stenton. Stenton goes up, fouled by Jonathan King. Nice pass by Shermer. So Ty Stenton will go to the line.
That's only the first personal on John King. They haven't been taking that ball inside enough to get those big guys in trouble for Aptos, so they've just felt free to crash that glass, and that's where they're beating SoCal right now by the big 17 points. Make it 16.
Ty Stenton makes it 72-56. SoCal still down. And gets ball, 72-57. 4.5 minutes to go.
Now what does that?
Holt was about to go out of bounds and threw it off to Casey Shermer into the out of bounds.
A little collision over there, no call.
Not much room over there. Knutson manages to find Warmerdam, who gets the ball knocked away. Tuitt with it, he'll go up. Whoa.
Warmerdam and Tomas Thompson was still playing basketball long after the whistle. And that was that could have been a foul on Tomas Thompson very easily, but there was already something called before that, and that's the only thing that saved him.
.4:15 left in the third period. Tuitt hits it, all net. The Aptos crowd accentuates that shot with a little swoosh.
I like that. I like that.
They've all got their hands up in the air. And as the ball goes in, so do their hands go down. 74-57 Aptos. St. Clair around Knutson. Into Stenton, the land of the trees. Warmerdam, a little bit of hand along with the ball.
Well, Stenton's just really the short fellow in there when you put him up against Warmerdam and King, but now he's taking it to those guys. He already has 4 fouls, but he's starting to build them up a little bit now on the other guys. He's got, what is it, 3 on Warmerdam now.
It's got to be tough for Soquel. They've got 3 guards, plus Thompson, who doesn't play a real post position.
But he picks up those rebounds, though.
Yep, that he
Thompson
does.
with 9 rebounds a game. Leads all the SoCal players. Stenton 4 in a row from the line, Rusty.
Makes it 74-59. Aptos, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Holt over to Knutson. Knutson goes up. Dominguez, though, with his hand on the ball over Knutson's head. They've got a foul. Looks like Casey Shermer fouled Mark Tuitt, I believe, away from the ball.
I was just about to remark how Stenton suddenly, with the 4th foul against him, is playing like a bull under there. He ripped that rebound down and got the outlet pass, but somebody did something that appears kind of silly, and the ball goes back to Aptos. I guess it was Shermer. But you can't fault the aggression on both of these teams. That's what their style is, and that's what they're going to keep doing till the final whistle blows.
Holt off to King with a nice hook shot. No good, but gets his own offensive rebound and puts it back in. Same
Shot
story,
after shot after shot. Too many shots going up.
76-59, 3:30 in the third period. Thompson fakes. He'll go up, though. Three-pointer off the rim.
The little guys in there just getting their stuff swatted, as they say. Stuff isn't the word they usually say, but that'll have to do for TV.
Dave Spencer looking on, trying to figure out how to erase the 17-point deficit. St. Clair off to Shermer. The little guy's in there. Stenton, nice try there. Knutson with the rebound. Off to Tuitt. He'll pull it up. 2-point attempt. No good. King with the bound.
2 shots again. Getting 2 shots every time, and now a foul. They just are not getting the position under there. The Blues got to put a ring around the bottom of that hole and just don't let any of those long guys in, and they just can't do it. The big boys from Aptos are finessing that glass, and that's what's happening here. It's 17 points down and going. And guess Shermer's out of here.
5 fouls. It didn't take long. 3 minutes to go in the third period.
So Shermer becomes the first DQ in the game.
It's not a lot he could do. He had to play like a big guy down there.
Yeah, Shermer at 6 feet. He's in against King at 6'7". Warmer at 6'6", and they got the arms that make them even more fearsome under there.
Speaking of fearsome, I had the opportunity once to play a pickup game with Warmerdam and Tuitt, and trying to shoot over Warmerdam, there was no way. His arms make him about 8 feet tall. Casey Shermer sits down. I feel for him.
The California look. Look at King. Look at Stenton.
Warmerdam, even after that shot, came racing down the middle of the key to get the rebound. 76-59, Aptos. 3 minutes to go in the third period.
Now what?
They're called a jump.
It'll go to Soquel. It's their turn. What the Soquel Knights can't do up in the air, they're trying to do down low, and they're being fairly effective. It cost Shermer the floor and put him on the bench because he got 5 fouls, but that's what he was doing.
Tomas misses a 3-point attempt. Aptos with the rebound. Jonathan King over to Knutson. Knutson fights through the crowd. Here comes King. He'll dish to Holt. He'll pull up. 78-59.
Well, Holt's been quiet in the second half. That's his 4th point here in the second half, but he had 23 in the first.
Here's a man that needs to do it. Foul on Craig Holt, though.
Well, Holt thought he had the clean block. Put on a little demonstration. Velisco decided that he'd just disregard the demonstration, and Holt bailed out in a hurry, wisely.
So Tomas Thompson, I think they need to set the picks to free him up.
I didn't hear how many fouls that was on Holt.
Tomas cannot convert. King with another rebound. Here comes Holt over to Tuitt. He'll go up. It's good. Mark Tuitt. 80 points for the Aptos Mariners. 59 Soquel. 2:10 to go in the third. Justin Ray spins free out to Thompson.
That's pushing the ball up, isn't it? He pushed that directly up in front of him. But 3 shots and down. What are you going to do?
There's nothing you're going to do. 82-59. from Soquel trying to answer back. They haven't scored in a while. Dominguez, three-pointer, short. Stenton there, though. Cannot get the bounce.
Well, tomorrow's garbage collection day in Capitola, but not here in Aptos for Stenton. He just couldn't get it. Oh, my. Hey, Larry Harr would have enjoyed that. That was like a volleyball game down there.
Should have had him doing that play-by-play with the back set. So to get some height in there, Jason Seeger comes in for Sean St. Clair. First action for Jason tonight.
See, Seeger, a 6'1" junior forward. It might be that Spencer's starting to see this game go away too, and he wants to give some guys some experience to build their depth for the playoffs. They got their hands full. They have to go Division II. The rest of the league goes Division III with the exception of Watsonville, which really got big-time trouble. They got to play against St. Ignatius and some of those guys. Bishop of Division I.
Tuitt confidently sinks both free throws. 84-59, a minute and a half in the third.
It'll be fun trying to choose which games we'll be doing, Rusty.
Thompson with a three-pointer. They'll need a bunch of those. 22-point lead for Aptos, however. Some more banging underneath.
Well, you know, we should have looked up to see what the all-time scoring record is for a team here. I think it's around 120, and they got 84 already. They have a real serious crack at the all-time record. I really don't know what it is, though, so you'll know all about it by the time you're viewing this. We'll just watch. The question is not going to be will they get 100. It's going to be will they 100 and what?
Yeah. So in now Steve Vasconcelos for Soquel, I think, got tagged for that foul. The same foul that
Holt's building it up. One more point and he'll have his 30.
And there's Vasconcelos there.
Foul's on King.
So a different lineup in there for Soquel. We're not seeing House come back in. I guess the technical was a little too harsh to pull off, so he'll continue to sit.
Well, Kenny was playing too much with his heart, not enough with his head, so.
Speak of the devil.
He's going to have a chance to redeem here.
Justin Ray with the hoop, and that'll allow Kenny House to check in. Ty Stenton will sit down.
Stenton played very well with the 4 fouls. Once he picked up that 4th foul, he just seemed to start to think a little better and get position better. Of course, he's awfully big and awfully strong, and those guys have a way of coming through at the end.
Justin Ray makes it 86-64 with a minute to go. Aptos on top. Minute to go in the third period. Almost a little deliberate action there by Aptos. Holt, turnaround jumper, good. 88-64. Tomas Thompson brings it down. He'll try the three-pointer. Off the glass, can't get the roll. Justin Ray in there, but a little too hard. So it's Mark Tuitt bringing the ball up. He'll go to Holt. Warmerdam with the rebound.
House isn't going to fare much better in there against Warmerdam, I don't think, tonight. This is a big game for Chris here. One of the last, if not the last, in his home gym. I heard the cheerleaders talking earlier. I'm not sure if this is their last game in here, but it's getting down to the end of his brilliant career, at least in his own gym, and he's really paying off the fans tonight.
The fans with their hands up in the air, and they go down. Nice shot there. Director Jeffrey Chairn.
20 points for Chris Warmerdam now.
Jeffrey playing with the effects in the truck there. So Warmerdam makes it 90-64, 25 seconds to go in the third period.
Warmerdam must have got that 10 outside shooting at the glass backboard over there in Aptos, over Tuitt's house.
Thompson will get the hoop and get fouled. I think that's Mark Tuitt, the foul who's on Mark Tuitt.
Well, that's vintage Tomas Thompson stuff. Great article about him today in the Sentinel, this being Tuesday.
This last week.
Really enjoyed that. It was this morning, and you know, there was a lot in there about How about Tomas Thompson and some of the difficulties he's had to go through? Had some real big-time lung problems back when he was a sophomore, overcame that. Has learned an inside game to go with that magnificent outside shooting game.
One of the top college, I think one of the top guys with the chance at college. 90-67, Aptos ahead. Craig Holt turnaround jumper. Tomas swats it.
Clean block by Tomas.
Yep.
The guy behind him got him. Steve Vasconcelos was pushing from behind. Seeger's out and Jim Alzina's in, famous local sports name. Father, the longtime coach at Soquel. World-class softball pitcher.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. All right. Get Jim to underhand one from the three-point range here.
Smiling Jack Alzina.
Comes Vasconcelos off to Ray. Knutson a little out of control there.
Well, fans, we'll be following our local teams throughout the playoffs. There's just such a vast array of possibilities that we have no way of knowing exactly where we'll be and when. Oh, Cliff Knutson, huh?
Sits down after a really good game for the junior. A big hand. Similar to what the hands his brothers used to get. Cliff Knutson sits down and checking in. Tim Powell. Vasconcelos hits the free throw. 92-68. We've got one tick left in here in the third quarter. Hits them both. 92-69. They'll let it fly. So at the end of 3 periods of play, 92-69 Aptos.
Time was, you sat down to a meal.
In all probability, the final quarter of this game between Aptos and Soquel, the Mariners up 92-69.
Well, I think this is their last home game of the year, so we can expect to see some of the seniors being taken out as this fourth quarter wears down with this big-time 23-point lead. It won't be early, though, not with that three-point shot available for Tomas Thompson out there. He's fully capable of closing that gap if they let him in there too long. That's Low Ty's favorite thing against the three-point play, is that it keeps a lot of guys on the bench that ought to be getting more playing time, but it isn't safe to put them in anymore because of the three-point play. I agree with Bo on that.
Along with Tomas, a big three-point threat. John Dominguez in there for Soquel. So Mark Tewitt about to take it out to Tim Powell. Came into the game recently.
Now that was the big change for Aptos tonight. Knutson was in there instead of Powell. Powell now get his chances.
Tewitt finds King open. Over Stenton, no good. Thompson with the rebound.
A little competition at that point guard position for Aptos will make their team a little healthier, I think. Get guys trying a little harder.
Three-point play, John Dominguez. 92-72.
Well, that's his first hoop of the second half. Gives him 22 points.
Oh, the alley-oop. There's the pair of seniors you were talking about. They're going to sit down to a big hand. Craig Holt, Chris Warmerdam. Tomas Thompson cannot bag the three-pointer. Here comes Mark Tewitt. Loses it. Dominguez comes up with it. The finger points to Timmy Powell.
So they go to the foul line here and give us a rare breather to develop that thought just a little bit more about the playoffs. You'll just have to kind of watch the local newspapers, check the listings. If you have any doubts at all, of course, give us a call down at the station, 458-1922, 458-1922, and we'll be glad to fill you in on what our plans are.
Ask for Jeff Conley. John Dominguez cannot get the free throw. Here comes Tewitt on the outlet pass. Over to Holt. He'll drive. Oh. Offensive goaltending there by Chris Warmerdam. He skied on that one.
On those game selections, a lot will have to do with where they are and how many teams we can cover at the same time and what the best matchups appear to be, and you know also who we think might be doing the best and has the best chance.
Tomas cannot hit the three-point play. Warmerdam with the rebound. Tewitt all the way to Holt. He'll pull over, throw over to King. King into Warmerdam, up close. He'll score 96-72. Here comes Soquel right back. Tomas Thompson cannot find the range on the three-pointer. It's Warmerdam to Holt.
Just fun time now in the Aptos gym. These kids have been playing together since they were small guys, believe it or not.
Nice pass by Tomas to Justin Ray. 96-74, a 22-point lead for Aptos.
And when these guys were small, that was pretty much a long time ago. We can't go wrong with our postseason coverage, Rusty, with teams like this to watch, plus the Cardinals, plus Harbor, who's capable of a good game.
So many teams in this league that can play great ball.
Watsonville's going to be overmatched, but they're tough, well coached. Who knows? They might pull an upset or two. Runaway time!
Slam dunk, Chris Warmerdam. They wanted that one.
Slam jam! They're rocking and rolling in the Aptos gym. Chris Warmerdam, his last home game before his homeboys, is going out in style.
They hardly care about the three-point play Tomas Thompson just hit. The fans are going wild. They're all on their feet. Chris Warmerdam.
This kid's going to be around for a while. Looked to it to just pass off to those seniors the rest of the night. Holt and Warmerdam are just going to shoot it up here.
98-77. Here comes Dominguez. Nice.
Oh, who said Hollywood had the only entertainment, huh?
That's right. 98-79. Aptos with 5:22 left to go in the game. The chant, warmer, warmer. Jonathan King, he'll go up with the little hook shot. It's good.
He gets his salute. He gets his due. Oh, this is fun.
Tomas Thompson lets it loose. It's good.
Oh no. Did you get that?
Yeah,
that's called in your face.
Tomas, he's still letting him know.
And why not? Why not? They're both laughing. They're both laughing.
So we have 100 points for the Aptos Mariners. They've hit the century mark. Soquel with a measly 82. Tomas Thompson can convert on the three-point play to make it 83. We've got a lot of points here, Jeff.
We might see two teams over 100. That'd be terrific. Why not?
Tomas Thompson, 100 to 83. Aptos on top.
You know, in the dance tournament, Harbor had a 30-point lead in Soquel, and Soquel worked it down to 7.
To it, three-point play.
Oh, how sweet it is!
They're lighting him up in the Aptos gym. Here's Kenny House. No good, but he'll bat it away to his teammate Sean St. Clair. Over to Tomas. He tries to slam it, fouled by Timmy Powell.
Well, I got to throw the score sheet away here. I really don't care. We'll find out what the numbers are later. We got to be thinking MVP here. I'd love to give it to the crowd myself.
Boy.
I don't know. We'll have to pick someone, I guess, but how are you going to do it?
I know.
They're all great.
4:40 to go left in the game here. Tomas Thompson at the line. He cuts it to a 19-point deficit. Aptos up 103 to 84. If you look at the scoreboard, it's 84 to 3. There you go. Tomas hits them both. In a wild game here at the Aptos Gymnasium. To it over to Holt. Look for Holt to put it up. He does. No good. Warmer with the rebound.
Oh, it's delight the fans night here in the house that Warmerdam built. The old man built the house, but this kid's putting a patio on it right now. What a delightful night for the Warmerdam family. It's
nice
been tough on them this year. They've got 10 losses. They're not used to that, but this is a big turnaround just in time for that big postseason.
Well, look at that. They missed a shot here in the fourth quarter. Here comes Tomas Thompson, 4:23 left to go. Way short. Justin Ray, though. Well, he gathered in the third time and made it good for an 87 to 105 score.
Finally, offensive rebounds for Soquel, but way too late here. Look out, this guy's got 2 more years. He's got 2 more years, and that's an intentional foul. How many points could this add up to? That's 3, could be 2 more for 5, a possession for 3 more. Could we be seeing an 8-point play? Oh my.
Now look at the fans. Kenny House just cannot believe what he's done. The fans are going wild. They'll believe it.
Well, you just can't stand the guy making that 3. You get over there, you arrive a little too late. The guy's coming down. When you get there, you pancake the guy, but he's already served it through the bucket.
Mark to it. It's a long shot to make it if he hits this, a 4-point play and the opportunity, like Jeff said, to make it a 5-point play. You don't see that very often. 4 minutes to go in the game.
Well, let's see. Yeah, because it was an intentional foul, they'll get another one. Oh, that's 4.
They like it on the bench there.
His point total is going out of sight, too. When you got 109 points, everybody gets rich.
Mark Tuitt, second attempt. It's good. A 5-point play by Mark Tuitt.
Well, we're going to watch it on the monitor now, Rusty. The crowd's just got us surrounded at the booth. It's kind of fun. We put ourselves in the living room with the
That's right.
folks that are watching this. And
see it a lot better that way. The score, 110 to 87. Aptos on top and with the ball. Tim Powell dishes it to his senior teammate, Craig Holt.
A 3 could make it an ocho. I've never seen an ocho. That's only 2. That's a, ooh, I tell you what. He's going to the line now. How long is Aptos going to keep the ball?
So Craig Holt to the line. Tim Powell will take a seat on the bench. He's got 5 fouls of his own. Dave Spencer will call timeout. I believe that was charged to Soquel as Aptos.
Tim Norman, now is his aloha foul. He's out of here. Well, let's cool things down a little bit and tell you some delightful places to go to do a little business here, because these are the guys that are paying the freight here to make this program possible for you. We've got Alpha of Santa Cruz, the Capitola Book Cafe,
Easy Care Kitchen's one of our sponsors.
Jerry's Sports,
Nye Lumber,
the Pizza Company,
Pontiac Grill,
the Rotary Clubs of Santa Cruz County,
Scarborough Gardens,
SGO, also known as Stained Glass Overlay,
and can't forget Straw Hat Pizza on 41st Avenue,
Travel Trails,
Trent Tile,
and Soquel's Delicatessen. Thank you, one and all. They'll be with us for the playoffs as well.
It's great having those guys along. It's great to be able to do these games thanks to them.
Class customers for a class program and a class show tonight by the Aptos kids and the Soquel kids as well, who only trail this game by 23 points, and the leading team has 110, so figure it out. Son of shootout, I think we did get the triplets.
I think so, triplets. Working on quadruplets here.
Right, we got so many guys over 20, it's just become passé. We got Dominguez up there, Tomas Thompson, we got Holt, we got Warmerdam.
Mark
Tuitt's up there, sure.
Jonathan King with not
and a whole
such
generation of Aptos kids from 5 feet and up all around us here at the booth.
Might point out, Aptos shared the co-championship on the junior varsity level this year with Santa Cruz, and the freshman team won it outright. So Aptos with a lot of talent down under.
Well, our good pal Frank Lyncher works us in the football season. His son Trent Dilfer on that Frost soft team. The guy's a monster. He also will be back, of course, for the football season to be the quarterback for Aptos. He's quite a guy coming up. He'll help this team. You got Kelly Stratton, hasn't seen much action of late. He's coming back for Aptos. They've got Mark Tuitt, of course, who seems like he ought to be a postgraduate student by now. He's only going to be a junior. I don't know who Soquel has. I think their forces might weaken a little bit. But
Timmy Norman.
Yeah, you can build on him. The guy's a natural-born leader. He leads that football team. He's done okay in basketball. A little late getting started because they had gone to so many. Tyler Stenton's coming back also. Oh my, yeah, he's a
6'4" of him.
horse you can tie your wagon to. He's tough.
Casey
So that'll
Sherman's
be good.
a junior.
Harbor, I don't know what they'll have. Santa Cruz always has something. They may be peaking right now, but you know. This league is here to stay. This is serious business. Basketball in our town is a major event.
Interesting what Pete Newell said in that interview a couple weeks ago with you, Jeff, how he talked about how the league has improved, trying to reach Aptos' level of play.
Chris Warmerdam. I wish they all could beat California boys, huh? Look at this guy.
With a familiar pose, the shirt up, wiping the sweat from his face.
Suntan, blonde hair. No surfing here, boss. This is basketball.
Warmerdam cannot convert. King with the rebound. Look at that from underneath the basket. That's Damon Meyer down underneath there. William Craig at the other end.
They're not shooting the ball, folks. They're shooting the camera.
Whoa, Warmerdam blocks it into the hands of Mark Tuitt. Tuitt will dish to Holt. 2-point attempt. It's good.
They give him a 3 or a deuce?
2 points.
Okay.
Yeah, that's William Craig on one end of the camera. Danielle Cohen up top. You see the shot of his right now. John Dominguez cannot hit it. In and out. That one smarted. Craig Holt with the three-pointer. It's good. 115 to 87. 3:10 to go in the game. Tomas cannot find the range.
Guys are just taking turns to see how far out you can shoot it from.
Jonathan King with it. Tim Powell will slow it up a little bit, give it off to Craig Holt. Craig finds Chris in the paint, but Tyler Stenton with the foul. That gives Tyler Stenton 5 fouls, so he'll sit down.
So the long bodies beat the wide bodies tonight under the basket. That's really the story of the game, all those offensive rebounds. And just a real loosey-goosey, refreshed Aptos team thrilling their home court fans, and for many of them, their last appearance.
A few more members of the crew, I'll have to mention them, otherwise they'll make me buy pizza afterwards. We've got Brian Ross, the technician in the truck, along with the director, producer, Jeffrey Charon. Production assistants, back behind Damon Meyer is Ron Losey, and then over helping out William Craig, we've got Roger
It isn't
Brown.
going to help you, Rusty. You're the play-by-play guy. You're buying the pizza anyway. We insist, but keep going. Keep talking about those guys.
Let's see who else we have. Becca King's in the truck right now. And then, of course, my friend Jeff Conley. Warmerdam tacks on some more points. 118 to 87, 2:55 to go. Dominguez, three-point attempt. Off the rim, he'll get his own rebound. Stepped on the line, Aptos ball.
Been thinking at all about the MVP?
There are a couple seniors for Aptos who you'd really have to fight it out for. Dominguez goes out to Jim Alzina, three-point attempt, no good.
Now we bring them both out.
Yeah, I think so.
That's one of them right there. Let's bring them both out. They can trade the plaque back and forth to each other's house. They're good buddies anyway.
Tomas with the three-point play. I think so. Maybe.
Who's it going to be, Rusty? Who's it going to be?
Well, let's just say it'll be between Craig Holt and Chris Warmerdam, and we'll surprise him at the end. Jim Alzina with the steal there off to Dominguez. He'll hit it. We've got Kelly Stratton in there now, who got a rebound earlier that set off another Aptos fast break. Mark Tuitt with a three-pointer. 125 to 92. Chris Warmerdam will have a seat to a tremendous hand by the Aptos crowd. Mark Tuitt sits down. Eric Littell checks in for Aptos, number 45. Who else we have? And here he is. Craig Holt running to the bench to his high fives. Mark Tuitt will have a seat. He knows who's number one. He's pointing to his fans. So a great effort by Aptos, the starters and reserves. 125 points to this point, a minute 30 to go in the game. Kelly Stratton with the shot, misses. But it's Billy Bruce with the rebound and makes good with the shot, 127-92. Jim Alzina, three-pointer. Brian Ralston with the rebound. Gives it off to Sam Putnam. Billy Bruce now trying to get around Tomas Thompson. Eric Littell, turn around. Short jumper, sticks it in there. Here comes Sean St. Clair.
They're not getting any smaller in Aptos, folks. You got Putnam under there, a junior. That guy's 6'8". Littell's in there, he's 6'2". Must be the water.
So Billy Bruce pulls off a nice move there to keep Aptos' possession. 129-92. Let's see if we can get Soquel at the century mark. We've got 40 seconds to do it. Soquel cannot buy a break here. Billy Bruce with the ball. Stolen away. Vasconcelos, Alzina trailing. And it's Eric Littell pointed guilty. Tomas Thompson goes to the line. Well, I really enjoyed it, Jeff.
This isn't the way that SoCal. This isn't the game SoCal wanted to get just before they went to the playoffs, but the big upset over Santa Cruz the other night had to make their season feel awfully good. They split with Santa Cruz this year. They split with Aptos this year. Not too many teams, not too many sports fans and writers and broadcasters were talking about them as a serious threat earlier in the season, but they've been every bit as good as the rest of the league this year, and they'll go on to that playoffs with an opportunity to show a little something in Division II.
Blue ball, SoCal will keep. Jim Alzina fighting like crazy to not only get out to the three-point line for that shot, but also keep SoCal with the ball. He'll throw it into Tomas Thompson.
Aptos, on the other hand, this is just the game they did need to shake off the malaise that's been theirs here during the 1987-88 season. They started off disappointingly, first-round loss at the Dad's tournament. 10 big losses on their ticket there. This will be their 19th victory. They're still looking for 20 games, which they usually have 20 victories by the end of January. This is a big turnaround for them. Their fans are all fired up. They'll be ready to go menace some guys around Division III come playoff time next week.
Tomas Thompson makes the score 129-95. 9 seconds to go in the game. Make that 96. Here comes Billy Bruce. He loses control of the ball. SoCal wants it back. Here comes Alzina. He'll throw it off to Tomas. And that's the buzzer. The Aptos Mariners with a very big victory over the SoCal Knights, scoring 129 points to SoCal's 96. The Aptos Mariners victorious in their own gym. We'll be back with the most valuable player after these messages.
So that was it, a really high-scoring affair, and Tomas, the scores of the teams speak for themselves. You guys lost, but what about that game within the game, you and Craig Holt?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pride going involved, in the scoring. We were about tied in the scoring lead a couple of games ago, and I know to me it was really important that I got that. I'm sure to Craig, there's just a lot of pride involved. And
were you aware at all during the game how he might have been doing vis-a-vis you? Was there any kind of little calculation going on? Listen, I know the dads are up in the stands, and they've got the points down to the last absolute point. So how about you guys? Were you guys going at it?
Actually, I lost count of how many points he had, because he had like 20-something points in the first half. So it was kind of hard to keep up, but I scored in the second half to make up for it.
Both got 42 points, and that was the final product on that game. Both you and Craig are have graduated, going off to college now. Are we going to have this type of offense next year? Who are the big guns coming up now?
Yeah, I think this offense will be here next year. I think that people that I've seen that really can be effective would be like John Dominguez of SoCal. He's got a really nice outside shot, really consistent, and Mark Tuitt also.
So it's off to Wyoming, possibly, for you now. You played 4 years of varsity high school. Why don't you take one quick look back for us?
I don't know, first of all, I'd like to thank my dad. I think he's been really involved, in a lot of my success. When I started playing basketball, he was always there, helping me with my shot, and he's always, drilling me more and want me to practice more and more. And I think it's carried over in the years to come because I practice hours a day, and I think that discipline goes back to him, always telling me to go out and practice.
Well, hope it all pays off. Best of luck in Wyoming.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us.
All right.
Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of our Summer Sports Classics. Join Jeff Conley and I, and of course a special guest next week when we cover the 1987 and 88 league track meet from the SoCal High School track. So for Jeff Conley, Tomas Thompson, and myself, Rusty Reed, good night, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
We hope you've enjoyed this evening of local programming on KRUZ. We appreciate your feedback.